All right, so thank you so much to everyone who is joining us for our first webinar of 2022. Today we are going over some video marketing strategies, trends, data, things you can use in your own digital marketing initiatives. I am Rachel McMahon. I am the SEO specialist here at Anvil, and I am joined with my colleague Joseph, who is a paid media specialist at Anvil. And together we are going to walk you through some of the most important things you need to know about video marketing heading into 2022. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to just shout them out, use the chat. We're happy to answer any of your questions or clarify anything that you need. So just to give you a little overview of what we're going to cover today, we'll start off by going through some trends, data that we're seeing in the current 2022 timeframe. And then we'll talk about some video SEO strategies you can use both on your YouTube channel and just on your website in general. Then Joseph will cover some live streaming information as well as some new advertising options. You'll see some platforms that we'll cover later on in the webinar. And then we'll wrap things up with a short Q&A session. If you miss anything, if you want to replay the webinar, if you want access to the deck, you can find the webinar replay on our YouTube channel. We'll have that up in the next couple of hours or so. And then our webinar deck will actually be available for download on our website. You can just go to the webinar section of our website and find it there. So as I mentioned, we'll start up with just some video marketing overview pieces of information. We'll talk about some trends that we're seeing, some pieces of information that are helpful to know, and what you can do with all of this information in your own digital marketing initiative. So just to start off, video marketing is what when we're talking about video marketing, that is when you're just using video content to promote or market your brand, your product, or your service. I'm sure everybody here has been in contact with the platforms that you see on the left-hand side. Those are typically the most popular that we see, and Joseph will go into some more specifics in just a moment, but basically we're just talking about video content, using that to promote your brand, your products, and your services. So why is video marketing all of a sudden becoming so popular and prevalent within the digital marketing community? Well, video marketing and video content in general just really creates entertaining content and content that your users are going to want to engage with. If you think about it, comparing a 1-minute video to a 1,500 word blog post, you can see why users, especially those within the millennial and Gen Z generations, why they would want to gravitate towards a video. It's just a little bit more engaging and a little bit more entertaining for them. You are putting your videos on additional platforms as well, so you're giving yourselves additional areas to appear within results. You're not just appearing on Google, you're not just appearing within social media, you can also appear on platforms like YouTube as well. So video marketing is also a great way to increase just your overall exposure. It's a great way to also solidify and prove your expertise within your industry. I'm sure we've all gone to YouTube for educational videos, to review products, to get more information about a certain particular topic. So it's a really great way to prove that you have that sound knowledge and expertise within your industry. Kind of going off of that, you can also use video content to increase your conversions or your online sales. As I mentioned, one of the most common types of videos that users are looking at these days are product reviews. So I've done it myself for, new car, new phone, what have you. I will always go to YouTube, look up product, demonstrations, testimonials, things like that. So having that content will give users the additional information they need to then go ahead and feel comfortable making a purchase or filling out a form, what have you. Particularly with mobile users, video and mobile go hand in hand. So pretty much 90% of consumers are watching videos on their mobile device. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, even a lot of these platforms are making it very, very easy and convenient to access video content on your mobile device. So it's a great way to also reach those who are mostly using their smartphones to do their day-to-day activities. And then particularly on the paid side of things, video marketing has been widely successful, particularly with your return on ad spend. So Joseph, again, will go into some specifics in just a moment, but we wanted to give you some overall bullet points as to why we want to even consider using video marketing in the first place. And not just why we want to utilize video content, but what we're seeing in the digital marketing community. And lately, just video content alone and video content production is growing at a crazy rate just because of so many people wanting to access and engage with video content. As you can see on the left-hand side, nearly 1/3 of all online activity is spent watching videos. That is a huge number and a huge potential for you to engage with potential customers and potential new leads. And I mean, even more so, kind of what I mentioned earlier, video is just a preferred type of content because it's an easy, entertaining way to get information. 54% of people are wanting to see even more video content this year. So people are actually wanting and desiring video content from video creators and brands to get more information about what they need. I'm sure we've all heard about TikTok and the TikTok craze. That app and Instagram, those types of apps are really utilizing video content to connect with people as well. So just those platforms alone have forced an increase in this video content production. And then just a caveat here, short videos are also capturing the attention of users just because, again, it's a really quick, easy way to engage with your potential customer, to engage with a user, to give them all of the information they need in a very short time frame. Again, picturing a 15-second video compared to a lengthy blog post, you can imagine which of those a user would gravitate to. And you can see on the right-hand side, we have a graph depicting what the primary forms of media digital marketers are focusing on now. And you can see the clear winner is video. So video content is where most of the digital marketing community is really focusing their attentions heading into 2022. Talking about some just video marketing platforms in general, I'm sure we can all assume how gigantic YouTube is, but lately YouTube has grown to the second largest search engine with 2 billion monthly users. So 2 billion is, again, a huge number, huge potential for you to reach potential customers, to reach potential leads for your particular brand. Instead of YouTube, you also have Facebook. Facebook, there's 8 billion video views per day. Again, a high volume, high potential there. And even users who are on Facebook spend three times more time watching live videos than uploaded videos. So you don't have to necessarily craft and edit and create these long-term videos. You can just do a live feed as well. Instagram videos work incredibly well. Video posts on Instagram receive twice as much engagement compared to other types of posts. So again, going back to why we want to use video marketing in the first place, it's a really great way to drive that engagement. And then just kind of tying this all together, we've really seen only 1 in 10 marketers have really tried video marketing on TikTok. Of those, 66 reported having been successful. So TikTok in of itself, I know there's a little bit of a connotation with TikTok, but it has been proven successful with several brands and several even just small businesses alone. So you can see in the graph there, 23% of people made a purchase because of something they saw on TikTok. So it's definitely a video platform that you want to consider within your own digital marketing campaigns and initiatives as well. Kind of focusing our attention on YouTube alone, just because we've seen this platform grow so much in popularity. Pretty much, you can see it's been on an upward trend since 2018, but we've seen about 70% of viewers have bought something from a brand after seeing a video on YouTube. Again, this could be a review, a testimonial, a demonstration, some sort of video that connected the user or viewer with your particular brand. And then globally, YouTube videos are reaching more 18 to 19-year-olds than any television network, which seems crazy to me. You're more likely to connect with that age range if you market on YouTube rather than traditional television, which as a millennial, it's crazy to think about. Growing up being loving some of the TV shows that we had growing up, but and then 95% of that 18 to 29-year-old range, 95% of those people use YouTube, and 91% of 30 to 49-year-olds use YouTube as well. So you have a big age range to connect with on YouTube as well. Such a high volume of people who are actively using YouTube on a daily basis. And then as we kind of mentioned, mobile plays a huge part in video marketing as well. YouTube mobile users pay 2 times more attention to what they're watching on their phone compared to watching television. So people, particularly with the younger generations, their sole focus is what's happening on their mobile device, particularly what's happening on YouTube on their mobile device. So YouTube should definitely be something that you consider incorporating into your digital marketing campaigns for sure. And then one thing that we've seen as well, vertical video is back. Historically, I'm sure you've seen on YouTube and other video hosting platforms, horizontal video was always the way to go and always the best practice. But because of platforms growing in popularity like TikTok, like Instagram, those platforms are really focusing on vertical video. So vertical video is actually, we're slowly shifting preference to vertical video again. So just something to consider when you're actually making your video content, to consider utilizing both horizontal and vertical video formats. And then lastly, now that we have kind of all of that trending information, that background data, what videos should you be making? What should you be utilizing on YouTube and some of these other video hosting platforms? As I mentioned, products or services, demonstrations, reviews, things like that, those are really, really effective on YouTube. If you want to do a video about storytelling, about how your brand is special, what makes you guys unique, things like that, case studies, reviews, anything that could really help give users additional information about your product, about your service, are going to work really, really well for your digital marketing campaign. So think about, just something to think about when you take that next step and you're ready to actually start producing that video content. So that is the first section that we have on just giving you a quick overview of video marketing in general. Again, for those that just joined, if you have any questions or want additional information, please feel free to send those in the chat and we'll do our best to address those once we get to the Q&A section. So next, we will touch on some video SEO strategies. So this is going to help expand the exposure of not just video content on your website, but strategies you can use on your YouTube channel as well. So the first item that we start with is our keyword research. So in order to connect with users on YouTube or any search engine in general, you have to understand how those people are actually searching. What are they typing into Google, into YouTube, in order to find the videos they need? So that understanding that information is our keyword research. So there are a few different ways you can do this for your video marketing campaigns. So the first is using YouTube autocomplete. So physically going to youtube.com, typing in the topic that your video is going to be about, and just seeing what autocomplete options come up. So those autocomplete options are actual searches that people have typed into YouTube. So they are essentially suggestions from YouTube as to what types of keywords, what types of information you should incorporate into your video title and even your video description as well. There is a tool called Google Trends. This gives you an understanding of popularity of a search term, and you can actually specify the data to YouTube search only. So you can get popularity of search terms specific to YouTube itself. So you can really understand what terms are popular, particularly on that platform, again, to incorporate within your description, your title, things like that. And then we also have another keyword research tool on SEMrush. This is a tool called the Keyword Magic tool, and it's similar to Google Trends, but it's a little different in that it's basically a way to get keyword ideas. So if you don't really know what keywords you should use, you can visit this Keyword Magic tool, type in the general topic, and the tool will actually spit out hundreds of relative keywords that correlate with the overall topic that you researched. And you'll even get things like search volume, what the intent is. You'll get additional data to really pinpoint which tool or which keywords you are going to be most valuable to incorporate within your page titles or within your video titles, within your video descriptions, and even some keyword research and keyword opportunities that you can incorporate on site as well. So in the appendix of this slide deck are links to each of these tools. And as I mentioned, if you would like access to this actual deck in the next day or so, it will be on our website. You can just go to our website, fill out the form, and we'll email you the actual webinar deck itself. So just so you know, those tools are within the appendix of this particular webinar deck. So that's keyword research. The next step would be just optimizing your actual YouTube channel. This could be accomplished within the video title. So whatever the most important keyword is, making sure you incorporate within that, whatever your video title is, utilizing additional keyword opportunities within the video description. The description is also a great way to incorporate links back to your website. So for Anvil, we always include a link to the contact page, making sure your transcript is all good to go. The thumbnail image you want to make sure is engaging, that people are going to want to click on your video when they see your thumbnail image within the YouTube search results. There are video tags to get a general sense of what categories your video fits into, and then your calls to action. So as I mentioned, linking your description back to your website, subscribe, like, things like that, telling users what you want them to do once they've watched this video. So that's particular to YouTube. Google actually came out with its own recommendations as well as to how you can earn maximum exposure from your own video content. So Google actually recommends that you not only have your videos live on YouTube, but if you have your website, you want to also embed your video content there. And taking that a step further, Google highly recommends that you build a dedicated page for each of the videos that you have on your website. So each video will get its own dedicated page, and you can see the screenshot to the right. The video title is going to be at the very top. The embedded video where users can watch will be in the middle. And then right beneath that will either be the description or transcript. So this is Google's recommendation. So this is something that we highly recommend to website owners, to video creators, so that way you can capitalize on these recommendations and start earning that exposure and seeing the benefits from the work that we've been doing on the video side. So once you've actually built those pages, then we recommend you implement video schema on each page. I'll get into what schema is in just a second. And then if you have a high number of videos, we do recommend that you organize a video XML sitemap. An XML sitemap is essentially a roadmap that search engine crawlers use to access different pieces of information on a website. So organizing all of your videos in an XML sitemap will essentially give Google a really easy way to access and process all of your video content. So a quick piece of information just from Google's own recommendations that we highly recommend to our clients and just about website owners in general. So as I just touched on, video schema, it sounds a little technical, but basically schema is just additional code that we place on back ends of certain web pages, and that allows search engines to better understand the most important pieces of content on each page. So schema markup allows Google to better understand not just the title and the description of the video, but how long the video is, when it was uploaded, what the video thumbnail image is, really pieces of important information that will connect with users and then will get them to understand why they need to watch the video. So video schema will also qualify your web pages and your video content to appear within what we call rich results. And rich results are just enhanced results that really stand out on search engine results pages. So these two screenshots that you see towards the bottom are actual results pulled just from Google. The left is just a video call out. So the video is enlarged on Google. It's the first result that you'll see. And then on the right-hand side, there is just a videos rich results section where you can see there's the video thumbnail image with the title and when it was last uploaded. So it's enhancing the way that you appear on Google itself. So great, we know what schema is, but how do I go about generating schema? I've never been a web developer before, so how do I generate that necessary code to use on my website? Google, there's actually a schema generator tool called the Merkle Schema Generator. And again, there's a link in the appendix section that will navigate you straight to this tool. But basically, all you have to do on the left-hand side, you'll see you select the kind of schema you're looking to create. In this case, it's video schema. And all you have to do is plug in all of that information, the title of the video, description, upload date, how long it is, what the thumbnail URL is. And on the right-hand side, the tool will automatically populate that code for you. And all you have to do is hit that blue circle to copy the code, and you will have your schema markup that you can then just place on the back end of your website. So you don't have to be a developer. You don't have to have any coding knowledge at all to generate the schema markup that you need to support your video content. So this is a really easy way. This is a free tool to use to generate that schema markup. And it's really important that once you generate that schema markup, you should test it with Google's own rich results test. So basically what you're doing is making sure that there aren't any errors that will prevent Google from crawling this code. So what you're going to do is just copy and paste your code snippet that you just generated from the Merkle Schema Generator tool. Copy and paste your code into this tool, click test code, and Google will tell you your code is good to go, no errors detected, or they'll tell you missing this piece of information, or there's some issue that's preventing us from crawling it, and then you can fix it before you place it on your site. We always recommend you test your code, again, to make sure you're not just putting code on your site that's going to have errors, and that's essentially going to prevent Google from utilizing that code and qualifying you for those rich results. So make sure that, yeah, you generate your schema and that you test it before placing it on your site. So that is the video SEO portion, and now I will pass it along to Joseph, who is going to talk about live streaming.
All right, so we're going to get into live streaming and how video marketing can complement your current paid ad strategy. Okay. There we go. So last Thanksgiving, Twitter partnered with Walmart for their very first live stream shopping experience. So they combine aspects of using online catalog, tweets, and having hosts act as influencers to sort of showcase products and services, home goods, clothing, anything you think of that Walmart would offer in an effort to encourage users on the stream to purchase straight from the live stream. It also created an ongoing running dialogue where the viewers, if they had questions, they could ask the influencers and the hosts, or they could engage with the other audience members to just create a conversation. And it was very live and interactive, and it could really change the way that people not only interact with Twitter, but to be a giant milestone for how consumers shop online as a whole. Ooh, okay, and now we're going to go into some specifics on the different advertising platforms. So you've all heard of TikTok. It's taken the world by storm. What Snapchat and Instagram started, TikTok has advanced in such a way that even Instagram is changing how its users engage with the app. They're getting rid of their static image components to focus on the user-generated content, because that is what TikTok has proven to be most beneficial. And whereas TikTok has always been on mobile devices, is recently partnered with a company for TikTok TV, where the created content will be shown pretty much anywhere you go, doctors' offices, malls, shopping centers, restaurants, any sort of place that would have a general waiting room type of environment. TikTok will be streaming onto those platforms, and they've shown that locations that use that kind of entertainment, they have a higher number of returning customers rather than locations that would use this basic cable television programming. It's much more engaging, and people will relate to it more. And with live videos, social media users, they tend to want to live in the now. It's great that they'll see recent articles and recent videos, but they want to see what's happening right now. And then going into some stats on Facebook and Instagram. I believe Rachel mentioned earlier, there's about 2.9 billion monthly users, mostly used through mobile devices. Over 10 million active advertisers using Facebook and Instagram. The formats are typically in stories and reels. Now, the difference between stories and reels, stories, there's more short term. It's sort of like you're at a happy hour, you're at a concert, you want to show up like, hey, this is where I'm at. Whereas with the reel format, that's more of a typical video ad format. It has much more editing capabilities. You can do slow motion, you can do fast forward, you can do more edits to make even an amateur can make a very decent reel video. And due to the nature of Facebook's targeting, with Facebook and Instagram, any advertiser can really fine tune their target audience and make sure the videos are placed in front of their audience that they find relevant. Moving on to Snapchat. So over 306 million daily active users. Now Snapchat tends to have a younger age group. So it's about between 15 to 25 is the average age of about half of the users overall. And it's really, the ad format there is really more storytelling. It's not as short as the reels that you might see. It really wants to encourage engagement. And with the Snap Map feature, businesses can be seen on the Snap Maps, making it easy for users to navigate and find those businesses to engage with them and see what content they're currently posting, what promotions they currently have. Of the bigger name companies that use Snapchat in their advertising marketing mix, ExxonMobil, Walt Disney, Lyft, and Pepsi are some of the biggest companies using Snapchat. And as you can see, there's a breakdown of the age groups, where you can see the older the demographic, the smaller the number of users. So if you really understand your audience, depending on what platform you're using, you can really connect with who you want to see your videos. Okay. All right, and TikTok, as we mentioned before, TikTok is growing every single day. It had the most number of downloads pretty much year by year since it started, and it is the preferred platform for influencer marketing. You'll see a lot of those videos on TikTok brands are using popular influencers to promote their brands. And there's also the subculture of tribes where no matter who you are, you'll find a relevant group of people on TikTok for you to connect with. And Twitter, we mentioned the live stream before, but Twitter has other uses too. It typically has an older demographic than some of the other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, typically older, and a lot of the users go for the content for news updates and traffic conditions, but you can still deliver some really good news messages there and promote your products. Okay. And YouTube, one of the biggest things out there. One of the best things you can do for YouTube is connect it to your Google Ads. It's great to have your video and have a great production, but if no one sees it, then what's the point? So if you use the AdWords linking, you can use all the same demographic targeting, the geo-targeting, the interest targeting that you would find through your normal Google Ads, but you'll be able to promote your video. And also by connecting the two, you'll be able to pull certain metrics that would be specific to YouTube, such as the viewer rate, video engagements, how many people are watching the video to the entire duration, and you can use that information to create specific audiences to target your future ads too. And compared to standard search ads, the cost per video view is much less expensive. So very easily affordable, very easy to incorporate into your current marketing mix. And for some key takeaways. So video marketing, it promotes your market, your brands, products, and services, creates an engaging environment for everyone who uses it. Billions of users consume video content on platforms like YouTube, Facebook every day. Pretty much, I was watching one just a few minutes ago, actually. And TikTok is always going to be there, it seems. It's taking over everything. And with as Rachel mentioned, with the SEO tactics, you can learn a lot more about how people are exposed to your videos. And incorporating the video ads into your marketing mix allows you to really enhance your branding efforts and create a much more cohesive branding experience and engagement for your audience. And with so many options to choose from, there's always someone out there in your audience that's using one of those platforms. So probably the best idea is to use a combination of the various different platforms to find the right way to connect with your audience.
Perfect. So If you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat. We have a couple minutes left, so we'll do our best to answer. We just wanted to let you all know we have our upcoming February webinar on evolving digital ad platforms. You can register for that now, so you can save your spot for our next month's webinar. And again, if you missed any slides, if you want access to this deck, the recap will be on our YouTube channel in a few hours, and then we'll actually put the deck up for download. So the deck will be available to you on our website as well. Joseph, I guess one question I always get is that people have an assumption of what TikTok content is, and is TikTok actually worth our time if we are, you know, trying to run ad campaigns? Is TikTok worth it?
It depends on the product services you're offering and how much you benefit from influencer marketing.
Because I know I've heard of those stories where TikTok has caused certain brands to sell out of products just because of a TikTok video. The right person shared the right thing. So I've also heard brands that are just, you know, they have an idea of what TikTok is and they're hesitant to advertise on the platform. So I always think it's a good idea. I know we've been recommending TikTok a lot. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Any other questions, anything at all? And as I mentioned, some of the tools that we talked about are available within the appendix section of this deck. So again, if you want to visit our website, download the deck so that way you can have not only the information, but the links to all of these tools that we mentioned. Yeah, you can feel free to go to our website to download. All right. Well, perfect. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. Again, don't forget to register for our upcoming video webinar, Evolving Digital Ad Platforms. We'll talk about programmatic and all of these acronyms that you see here. So please feel free to register, and we hope to see you there. Follow us on our YouTube channel for some of these webinar recaps and reviews. And we hope to see you next month. So thank you again for joining us, and we hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.